A compensation analyst plays a crucial role in maintaining an organization's internal equity, competitiveness, and compliance in employee pay structures. They are responsible for researching market salary data, analyzing compensation trends, and ensuring that employees are fairly rewarded for their work. If you're preparing for an interview for this analytical and strategic position, it's important to understand that hiring managers will assess not only your technical knowledge of compensation systems but also your ability to apply that knowledge in real-world business scenarios. Let's explore some common compensation analyst interview questions, along with sample answers and helpful tips to guide your preparation. Understanding the role of a compensation analyst. Compensation analysts work closely with HR departments and management teams to design, evaluate, and implement pay structures that attract and retain talent. They ensure that salary ranges are both competitive and compliant with labor laws while supporting the company's strategic goals. This position requires a mix of quantitative analysis, market research, and communication skills to balance business objectives with employee satisfaction. During your interview, employers will look for your ability to interpret data, use compensation tools, and provide recommendations that align with both fairness and organizational performance. Your answers should demonstrate analytical rigor, attention to detail, and an understanding of how compensation influences morale and retention. Question 1. What motivated you to become a compensation analyst? Here's how you can answer. I've always been interested in how data can be used to make fair and strategic business decisions. As a compensation analyst, I get to combine analytical work with people strategy, ensuring that employees feel valued while the organization remains competitive and compliant. It's the perfect balance between numbers and impact. Tip: show enthusiasm for both analysis and human capital management. Question 2. What are the key responsibilities of a compensation analyst? Here's how you can answer. The key responsibilities include conducting salary benchmarking studies, analyzing pay equity, maintaining job descriptions, ensuring compliance with wage regulations, and recommending salary adjustments. A compensation analyst must balance internal fairness, external competitiveness, and financial sustainability. Tip: highlight both analytical and advisory aspects of the role. Question 3. How do you ensure internal equity within an organization? Here's how you can answer. I maintain internal equity by evaluating job descriptions, job levels, and pay grades consistently. I use tools like point factor evaluation or ranking methods to ensure that similar roles receive comparable compensation. Regular reviews and audits help identify discrepancies and support transparent pay structures. Tip: mention specific job evaluation methods to show your technical knowledge. Question 4. How do you conduct a market pay analysis? Here's how you can answer. I start by collecting market salary data from trusted surveys and industry benchmarks. I then compare this data to the company's internal salary structure, adjusting for location, experience, and performance levels. Based on findings, I recommend pay adjustments or range updates to keep the company competitive. Tip: discuss your analytical approach clearly and mention any tools or data sources you use. Question 5. What compensation tools or systems have you used? Here's how you can answer. I've used systems like PayScale, Mercer-Win, and Willis Towers Watson surveys for benchmarking. I'm also proficient in Excel, HRIS systems like Workday and SAP SuccessFactors, and data visualization tools like Power BI to analyze and report compensation data. Tip: match your experience with the tools used by the employer if known. Question 6. How do you stay updated with compensation trends and labor laws? Here's how you can answer. I follow updates from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, SHRM publications, and compensation consulting firms. I also attend webinars and conferences to learn about emerging pay practices, regulatory changes, and evolving expectations around equity and transparency. Tip: employers appreciate continuous learning and awareness of compliance. Question 7. Can you describe a time when you identified a pay discrepancy and how you addressed it? Here's how you can answer. In a previous role, I noticed gender-based pay gaps in certain departments. I conducted a detailed regression analysis to identify the root causes, then presented findings to HR leadership. We made salary adjustments and implemented a review process that reduced future discrepancies. Tip: use a real example that demonstrates integrity, data use, and problem solving. Question 8. How do you handle sensitive compensation data? Here's how you can answer. I treat compensation data with utmost confidentiality. I follow strict data security protocols, restrict access to authorized personnel, and ensure that reports are anonymized when shared. Discretion and integrity are essential when working with salary information. Tip: emphasize ethics and professionalism when discussing data handling. Question 9. What is your approach to designing a compensation structure for a new position? Here's how you can answer. I begin by analyzing the job description, required skills, and organizational level. Then I benchmark the role using market data and evaluate its internal relationship with similar positions. Based on these findings, I assign an appropriate pay grade and develop a salary range aligned with company policy. Tip: focus on structure, logic, and fairness in your answer. Question 10. How do you evaluate the effectiveness of a compensation program? Here's how you can answer. I assess program effectiveness through key metrics like employee retention rates, internal pay equity, and competitiveness compared to market benchmarks. I also gather feedback from managers and employees to ensure that the compensation strategy supports motivation and business objectives. Tip: combine quantitative and qualitative evaluation approaches. Question 11. How do you handle disagreements with managers regarding pay recommendations? Here's how you can answer. I handle such situations by presenting clear data and explaining the rationale behind my recommendations. If disagreements persist, I listen to their concerns and explore potential compromises while ensuring that the final decision aligns with company policy and fairness. Tip: demonstrate diplomacy and confidence in your professional judgment. Question 12. Can you explain pay equity analysis and its importance? Here's how you can answer. Pay equity analysis involves comparing compensation across employees performing similar work to ensure fairness, regardless of gender, race, or other factors. It's vital not only for compliance but also for building trust and promoting diversity and inclusion within the organization. Tip: highlight both compliance and ethical significance. Question 13. How do you approach salary adjustments during budget constraints? Here's how you can answer. In tight budget conditions, I focus on prioritizing critical positions and high performers. I also explore non-monetary rewards or phased adjustments. Transparent communication about the company's financial status helps maintain employee trust even when raises are limited. Tip: show that you can think strategically even under constraints. Question 14. What is your experience with incentive or bonus plans? Here's how you can answer. I've helped design and analyze both short-term and long-term incentive plans. My role involved setting performance metrics, aligning them with company goals, and ensuring payout fairness. Incentive structures must motivate employees while staying financially sustainable. Tip: employers value candidates who understand how compensation links to performance. Question 15. Why should we hire you as our compensation analyst? Here's how you can answer. You should hire me because I combine analytical expertise with a strong understanding of business strategy and employee motivation. I have experience managing pay structures, ensuring equity, and aligning compensation with company objectives. My goal is to create fair, data-driven solutions that enhance retention and organizational success. Tip: end with confidence by summarizing your analytical, ethical, and strategic strengths. Final thoughts. Preparing for a compensation analyst interview means demonstrating not just your technical understanding of pay structures, but your ability to interpret and apply data to real organizational challenges. Employers seek professionals who are accurate, ethical, and capable of balancing business realities with fairness. Before the interview, review compensation laws, familiarize yourself with benchmarking tools, and prepare to discuss examples that showcase your analytical skills. The best candidates show that they can connect numbers to people, ensuring that every pay decision reflects both integrity and strategic purpose. In short, A great compensation analyst doesn't just calculate salaries. They help shape a company's culture of fairness, motivation, and long-term success.